I was thinking the other day about the average American youth soccer player that plays for fun. They play 2 or 3 times a week. They don't really practice at home. They play because mom and dad put them on a team to go play soccer and maybe get some exercise and get some activities in. My name is Kyle Wilson, Kyle C. Wilson. I've even been called the Angry Soccer Guy. I have worked with children as young as 2 years old, all the way to professional players over my current 10-year youth soccer career. And the professional players that I've worked with are Lewis Nani from Manchester United, Benji Michel, Dom Dwyer, Teshuak Adeli, Ruan Teixeira, Santiago Patino, and many others that have played the game at the MLS level and higher. And I've even trained the generational talent, Kawan Bazil, who is arguably the biggest talent coming out of Brazilian football right now, which gives me a lot of knowledge and information to share with people, and that's what I'm doing here. What would be the best type of training session for them? What would be the most fun? Because we have kind of like not only an identity crisis, but we also have a enjoyment crisis. And let's think about children today in 2025. Especially in the United States, they have access to a variety of things, from different sports, to different types of games, to different interests like music, for example. And then you add into the effect of iPhones, iPads, tablets, computers, right? It's a whole, or PlayStations, Xboxes. And like, you think about the average child, what is more fun for them? Brawl Stars or a 7v7 soccer game? Well, more than likely, the average child that just plays for fun, that has an iPad at home, that plays on their iPad, is going to say Brawl Stars or some sort of game like Brawl Stars. Now, the question then becomes, how do we start winning that battle to persuade and gain children's interest to want to come back to football? And then it's like, well, we got to make the game more fun for them. Less pressure, more fun. If it's fun, they're going to want to continue to keep playing. So then let's think about the current age group formats. We have 3v3, 4v4, 7v7, 9v9. That's what a child basically the age of 5 to 12 is going to go through. 3v3, 4v4, 7v7, 9v9. That's a lot, especially for a kid that doesn't really have the interest yet to play. So then I was like, okay, let's create what I call saving USU soccer and making sure that the game is about the kids. So anything less than U7, so U7 and U8, but less than that would be 2 versus 2. 2 players versus 2 players on a mini field. We would then go to U9 and U10, then we go to 3v3. Then we move to U11, U12. This is now 5v5. Now, I know what you're probably thinking or probably going to suggest, well, what about the kids that are excelling? Great. The kids that are excelling, we can create a specific group or programming for them at higher level competition that could then be, say, 5v5. However, that is closer to the 1%, maybe 2% of kids versus the 80 plus to 90 plus % of children that are playing the sport. Because like you have recreational, that's a majority of children. And then you also have like what I would, there's kids in competitive that we can be honest with each other and say, they're really not competitive, but they're in competitive. Well, they have needs and they have wants. And we as adults are doing a very poor job meeting their level. So imagine if everything U7 and U8 and younger, so that'd be like U6, U5, is 2 versus 2. And then you go to U9 and U10, and we go to 3 versus 3. Then we go to U11, U12, that's 5v5. That is going to be way more fun for kids because they're going to score more goals. They're going to have more actions. They're going to be able to touch the ball more. They're going to celebrate like their favorite heroes. And they're going to play a multitude of positions and play with their friends. Like, I think those are all wins. And we want wins when it comes to working with children. We want them to be successful and have fun. If they're playing 7v7, they're getting pigeonholed to a single position, say goalkeeper or center back. That's not very fun. It might be fun for a little while, but it will only last so long. And we want to make sure that they actually enjoy playing the sport. So I think that will be a very big fundamental shift. Now, you may argue, well, what about coaches? Parents can then take the lead on being a coach because it's 2 versus 2 or it's 3 versus 3. And especially at the younger ages, you're not really coaching. You're like a facilitator. You're like a guide more so than a coach. You're kind of helping kids get on the field, help them figure out what they're doing, but you're not coaching per se. You're just guiding or facilitating them to play the game. And I think that's a very big idea and resource or reframe that I think is important when it comes to taking care of the next generation and saving USU soccer.